Welcome to a SOMA live art presentation and guided meditation journey. SOMA live art is a channeled vibration, a portal into a higher realm of being. As you are gazing upon this live art right now, allow your intuition to reveal to you a portal. A portal is an entrance into a higher realm of consciousness. Each SOMA live art has a portal waiting for you to enter through. So slowly take 3 deep breaths in. Relax your body. And the portal will reveal itself to you. And don't second guess yourself, just jump right in. You have arrived. To receive a healing today, keep your focus on the portal. Take 1 more deep breath in, hold for 3 seconds, and release. And this will expand your consciousness and prepare you for today's journey. And now please close your eyes. The SOMA live art you are gazing at is called The Wizard's Book. So your eyes are closed. So in your mind's eye, I would like for you to find yourself sitting at the feet of a wizard inside a large and very elaborately decorated cave. The wizard has a very large book on his hip, and you are watching him open it slowly. And in his very deep wizard voice, he says to you, "This is the story of Fairy Island." And looking up at him, you can see a big smile on his face. He seems so happy to share this story with you today. And then he continues, "You know, very few people are invited to my storybook readings, but I have a feeling you are really going to enjoy this adventure today. Because maybe you were a fairy in past life," he says with a chuckle. And then when the wizard opens the first page of this very large book called Fairy Island, you immediately fall right inside, right into the book. You find yourself no longer sitting at the wizard's feet because you are right inside the first page. You are standing in a forest, your bare feet on the grass. And in the distance, you can hear the wizard's voice. He is reading to you. Once upon a time, deep in a hidden glen on Fairy Island, there lived a community of fairies known as the Blossom Wing Fairies. These enchanting creatures were no taller than a daisy, with delicate wings that shimmered like sunlight filtering through the leaves. And then he takes a pause for a moment to get his breath. And you immediately become aware of the warm sun on your back. And then the wizard continues the story with you inside the book somehow. Fairies spend their days flittering amongst the vibrant floral of the island, tending to the plants and spreading joy wherever they go. The glen is a blaze of color, filled with towering sunflowers and delicate ferns and fragrant wildflowers that dance in the gentle breeze. And looking around, that is exactly what you are looking at. It is very enchanting and lovely to be here. And the wizard continues, each fairy is responsible for a specific plant and nurtures it with love and laughter, watching it grow. Leela, the leader of the Blossom Wing Fairies, is particularly fond of the moonflowers that bloom only at night. She believes their soft glow can bring happiness to anyone who gazes upon them, and they are her particular flower to watch over. Leela is a very magical fairy who resides deep within the forest on the island. It's a magical realm where nature and the ethereal energies coexist. And you can see her clearly now. Her golden blonde hair shimmers like the sunlight filtering through the forest canopy. And her piercing green eyes radiate peace and understanding. And she is wearing a flowing gown of earthly tones, greens, golds, and browns, adorned with a delicate vine pattern. Her outfit is interwoven with living plants, which must symbolize her connection to the forest. She also wears a circle of gold and ivy leaf around her. It's very precious. And you can see her aura too. It's a golden glow surrounding her, which makes you feel very calm and peaceful. And you hear the wizard continuing the story. Leela is a guardian of the balance between the mortal and magical realms, serving as an oracle for those brave enough to seek her guidance. How lucky for you that you showed up here today. You hear the wizard say to you, and you shake your head as you're not sure if he is really talking to you or reading the story now. Yes, I'm talking to you, the wizard says, and he must be able to read your mind. I'm glad you showed up today because Leela has been expecting you. And then he continues his story reading. Although Leela's nature is nurturing and compassionate, she can be very firm and unyielding when protecting the delicate balance of the fairy forest. Leela's real passion is for her moonflower plants, and all the fairies on Fairy Island adore her for that. Moonflowers are one of the most magical plants. And as the wizard pauses again, you realize you are standing right beside Leela now. And you can't help but admire her beautiful fairy wings again. And then, to your surprise, she looks directly at you and winks. Fairies can be very playful, you know, you hear the wizard say to you. And somehow that gives you a feeling, a sense of relief, because you were not even sure that Leela could even see you. Well, it isn't every day you get to jump right into a book that you're being read to. Don't worry, we are going to have lots of fun today, Leela says to you, and she claps her little hands in delight. It is by no mistake that you decided to come here today and experience the fairy ways, she says to you. And then a thought runs through your mind. You wish you had brought a gift to give to her. It would just seem so appropriate. Go ahead, the wizard says to you. Reach into your pocket. So you do. And to your surprise, you pull out a little vase and you hand it to her. Leela loves it. What a thoughtful human you are, Leela says. And you smile. And then you look up, half expecting to see the wizard watching over you, so you could thank him. But there is just blue sky. And immediately you see more fairies arriving. And the surrounding fairies are humming cheerful tunes, and they're weaving garlands of flowers with their delicate little hands. They are all celebrating your arrival to Fairy Island, Leela says to you, because they know that it's not easy for a human to find this island. Well, that's because the wizard is very picky who he reads this book to, and she smiles. And then Leela, with this huge smile on her face, leans over and gives you a little fairy hug. I have an idea, she says, and makes an announcement out loud to you and all the fairies. Listen, what if we host a fairy festival today and make it very magical? And her wings are fluttering with excitement. The other fairies squeal in delight. Their little voices sound like ringing bells through the forest. And the wizard continues his reading. Immediately, you see all the fairies set to work. Some are gathering petals, leaves, and seeds to create decorations for this grand fairy festival today, in honor of your visit, of course. And while all the fairies are busy preparing, Leela smiles at you and says, "Follow me. I want to take you to see the Tree of Wisdom." And she takes hold of your hand. And she begins to lead you through the magical forest. And the deeper you get into the forest, the quieter it seems to be. And then Leela points to a very large, grand tree with a very large trunk and a small oval door at the base of the tree. You are too big to go inside the tree, she says, but you can sit by the tree of wisdom. Just sit there by the large roots and lean your back against its trunk. And now close your eyes and listen deeply, Leela says to you. So you do. And after a few minutes, you can hear a deep, soothing voice from inside the tree. And it says to you, today you become one with your inner light by learning to live in the present moment. You become just like us trees. From now on, do not react to your fears. Let them just float away like the clouds. Because as of today, there will never be a valid reason for you to stray from your own inner light. Because your own inner light is where your true inner peace resides. You can find peace in every moment. And today I will make it easier for you to do just that. And then the tree went silent for a moment. And then the wizard's voice becomes clear to you again. You can hear him say to you, pay attention. This is going to get really good for you. And then the tree's deep voice comes back. To pass on our tree wisdom, I can initiate you into the light. And without hesitation, you hear yourself saying out loud, yes, please, tree of wisdom. I would be honored to be initiated into the light. And you can hear the wizard chuckling and say to you, good choice. And you smile too. And then the tree of wisdom continues. Please repeat after me. I am centered and calm. I know myself as the lightness of spirit. I connect to my inner self, where the peace that resides in my heart is. And from my center, I glow in all my divinity. I find life and love in all that is. And then you feel a little drop of sap on the middle of your forehead. And your whole body feels like it is glowing in light. And there is just silence now. Your initiation is done, and you can smell the sweet smell of cedar sap on your head, and it just warms your soul. And then you hear the wizard say, you can open your eyes now. and you can barely open your eyes. You feel so transformed and peaceful, but you do. And when you open your eyes, there is Leela smiling at you, and she says, "Your transformation is complete. Come on, let's go celebrate now. The festival time is approaching, and you smell amazing," she adds with a smile. And as you walk back through the forest with Leela, through the trees, the bushes, and past all those wildflowers growing in abundance, you come upon the glen. The fairies have transformed the glen into a magical wonderland. Strings of blossoms hanging from the branches, and the air is filled with the sweet scent of nectar. The fairies invited woodland creatures to the festival too. Their birds and even curious butterflies want to join the festivities today. And each guest seems to have brought a unique gift. You can see a squirrel. He brought a tiny little shiny acorn. And a songbird brought a feather. And a sprig of mint is coming from a wise old tortoise. This is quite a beautiful celebration, and the sun is shining brightly, and laughter is echoing through the glen. And the fairies begin dancing in circles, their wings sparkling like stars, and the plants swaying to the rhythm of the joyous music. And you watch as fairies play games of hide and seek. And some fairies are gathered together sharing stories and making each other laugh so hard. And a sweet little squirrel is offering you a delicious nectar cake made from the blossoms of flowers. And it's quite yummy. And that large tortoise has a cup of sundew tea on his back, bringing it over to you very slowly. You are so happy and never felt so joyful and so loved. Go ahead and get up, you hear the wizard say to you. So you get up and begin to dance with the fairies. And you dance with all the other animals in the forest too. And some of the fairies just spin you about, while butterflies are landing on your head, making you laugh. And you dance for hours and hours without a care in the world. You are in the moment, and you are the light. And this fairy music is very intoxicating. And as twilight descends and the fairy festival begins to wind down, and you have danced with every fairy and had your fill of all the delicious fairy food, you stop to take a rest at the bottom of a tree. Twilight time is very magical. There's such a peace and calm in the air. And even though you feel a little exhausted, there's this feeling of satisfaction that's just filling your soul. And then you hear Leela announce, and she's way up in a tree, and she says, "Come on everyone, it's time to visit my moonflower garden, my favorite garden, where the blooms are just beginning to open now. Come, let's bask in the magic of my favorite plants." And so she leads you and everyone to her moonflower garden. And there you see it, where the blooms are casting a soft silvery light. And you can see petal by petal the moonflowers as they are slowly coming alive, ready to worship the moonlit sky. Wow, this is so magical indeed. "Let's all make a wish," Leela announces. And all the fairies, along with you, close your eyes and make a wish. And each of their hopes and dreams directed into the night sky. You are all celebrating this very special day. And they are celebrating. It's not very often a human comes to Fairy Island and gets to share in all this joy. And after everyone has made their wishes, looking up into the night sky, you see tiny sparks of light floating upwards, all coming from inside the blooming moonflowers. The moonflowers are carrying all the wishes that everyone made right up into the heavens, as that is what moonflowers do. And then you can clearly hear the wizard's voice again as he continues reading and says, "The festival continued late into the night, filled with twinkling lights, laughter, and the sweet melodies of nature. And immediately you look at Leela, and you can tell that the both of you have the same feeling. You think to yourselves that the wizard is coming to the end of this book. And Leela, looking a little desperate because she has grown very fond of you, quickly whispers in your ear, "Please know that on this exact day, each and every year, all of us blossom wing fairies will celebrate your visit here with us. You will never be forgotten, I promise you. We will forever remember the joy that you brought us today, and your celebration, and your initiation into the light." And she leans over and gives you a little fairy hug and then whispers in your ear, "You know, you really do smell good." And you feel so honored for Leela's commitment to remembering you. And you hear yourself saying back to her, "Then I too will celebrate this special day each and every year, and I will anoint my third eye with cedar oil to commemorate this special day and to remember the tree wisdom." And then looking directly into Leela's little green eyes, you say, "But if there is a way and the wizard allows, I would love to come back and celebrate here right along with you and all the Blossom Wing Fairies each and every year." And then you hear it, and you see Leela's eyes get big as saucers. The book is closing. And the wizard finishes his last sentence with, "Then let it be so." Quick, jump out. The end. Now slowly coming back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and slowly opening your eyes. As you are gazing once again upon this SOMA Live art presentation, give a prayer of gratitude to the portal that led you into the Wizard's Book. So until the next time, take a deep breath in, smile. Your journey today is now complete. May the love in my heart go from me to you.